Imagine this. You sit down with a warm plate of fish thinking you're nourishing your body, protecting your heart, and giving your brain exactly what it needs. But what if that very fish was quietly stealing your memory, weakening your heart, and even speeding up the aging process? For anyone over 60, this isn't just a scary idea, it's reality. Groundbreaking research published in The Lancet in 2023 revealed that eating the wrong kind of fish, even just twice a week, could raise your risk of stroke and memory loss by as much as 70 to 80%. That's not a small number, that's a life-changing risk. Here's the part no one is really talking about. Every single week, most seniors are unknowingly choosing the wrong fish. Fish that look safe, affordable, and familiar, yet they're loaded with mercury-hidden toxins and inflammatory compounds that fan the flames of disease inside the body. And while you think you're protecting your health, these choices could actually be setting you up for decline. But here's the hope. Science is clear that it doesn't have to be this way. The Journal of Gerontology recently shared powerful findings eating the right fish. The safe and nourishing kind can lower your risk of Alzheimer's by up to 40%, protect your arteries from clogging, and even slow down the aging process from the inside out. Imagine food that not only fills you up, but fuels your independence, your memory, and your strength well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. That's what the right fish can do. So in this episode, I want to give you the full truth. The 4 fish you should never touch after 60, followed by the 4 fish you should add to your plate regularly if you want to stay sharp, strong, and independent. These aren't guesses or internet rumors. Every point I share comes straight from peer-reviewed studies, real data, and the science that truly matters for your health. And before we dive in, I want you to pause and think, what fish do you eat most often? Is it tuna from a canned tilapia because it's affordable? Or maybe catfish because it's a familiar choice? Hold that thought in your mind as we go through this together, because you might be shocked at what you learned today. I'm Dr. Thalo Marcos, and this is Healthy Hues Wellness, where we uncover science-backed strategies to help you live not just longer, but stronger. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, you already know we dive deep into the truths that can transform your everyday choices into powerful acts of self-care. Now let's get started. Part 1. The 4 worst fish for seniors. Let's begin with fish number 4 on our danger list: imported catfish. On the surface, catfish looks innocent enough. It's mild in flavor, it cooks quickly, and let's be honest, it's one of the cheapest fish in the supermarket. For families on a budget, it can feel like a smart, practical choice, but hidden beneath that bargain price is a health cost most people never see coming. The issue starts with how these catfish are raised overseas. Picture massive crowded ponds where fish are crammed together so tightly that disease spreads like wildfire. To keep them alive, farmers flood the water with antibiotics. But here's the thing, those antibiotics don't just vanish. They accumulate in the flesh of the fish. And when you eat it, you're eating that chemical cocktail too. For seniors whose immune systems are already more vulnerable, this isn't just concerning, it's dangerous. Over time, it can contribute to antibiotic resistance, making it harder for life-saving medications to work when you really need them, and that's only the beginning. Independent testing has found that imported catfish often contain residues of banned chemicals and even carcinogen substances that should never ever be in your food. Why? Because these fish are raised in polluted waters that soak up industrial runoff heavy metals like mercury and even lead. These toxins don't pass right through your body. They build up slowly, quietly, year after year. For seniors whose kidneys and liver already process toxins less efficiently, this toxic load can increase the risk of kidney damage, neurological problems, and even cancer. There's another layer to this problem: inflammation. Most imported catfish are fed an unnatural diet heavy in corn and soy. This creates a dangerously high omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. And while your body does need some omega-6 fats, too much without enough omega-3 is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Chronic inflammation begins to rage. For seniors already dealing with arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune issues, it's the exact opposite of what you want. And here's the real kicker: imported catfish doesn't even give you much in return. Compared to healthier options, it's nutritionally poor. low-quality protein, hardly any of the beneficial omega-3s or micronutrients your body craves, and essentially empty calories with hidden risks. So yes, it looks cheap at the checkout line, but the price your health may pay is far more expensive. If catfish is on your menu, the good news is you don't have to cut it out completely. The safer alternative is domestically farmed catfish, especially those raised under stricter U.S. regulations. These follow better practices and avoid many of the hidden dangers. But when it comes to imported catfish, the risks simply outweigh the rewards. And that's just the first of the 4 fish on our danger list. As we go deeper, the next ones will reveal even more shocking truths about what might be sitting on your dinner plate. Stay with me, because understanding these hidden risks could be the turning point for protecting your health and extending your independence in the years ahead. For many older adults already living with arthritis, heart disease, or autoimmune conditions, eating imported catfish is like pouring gasoline on an already burning fire. The inflammation it fuels spreads silently but relentlessly, turning every bite into a hidden health setback. And to make matters worse, imported catfish brings very little benefit in return. It is nutritionally poor compared to healthier fish. Instead of delivering the rich omega-3s and protective nutrients we associate with seafood, it offers low-quality protein and almost none of the vital elements your body needs. What you are really getting is empty calories laced with hidden risks. That catfish fillet may look like a budget-friendly choice at the grocery store, but the long-term cost to your health can be far greater than the few dollars you save at checkout. The smarter choice, if you truly enjoy catfish, is to seek out domestically raised varieties. In the United States, farming practices are held to far stricter regulations, meaning less contamination, cleaner water, and significantly reduced exposure to antibiotics and toxic chemicals. Choosing domestic catfish over imported is not just a culinary preference, it is a health investment. Now let's move to the next fish on the danger list. Worst fish number 3 is tuna. For decades, tuna has carried the reputation of being a lean, healthy protein. From tuna salad sandwiches packed into lunchboxes to canned tuna tossed into pasta dishes, it has been a staple in millions of American households. Yet for seniors over 60, this trusted favorite hides a silent and invisible threat that can take a heavy toll on the brain, the heart, and the nervous system. The issue is mercury. Tuna, especially the larger species such as albacore, white tuna, and big eye, sit high in the ocean food chain. They live long lives and feed on smaller fish, which means year after year they absorb mercury. Over time, those mercury levels accumulate in their flesh. And when you eat tuna, that mercury does not simply pass through your body. It builds up quietly in your tissues, especially in the brain and the nervous system. For younger people, small exposures may be managed more efficiently, but for seniors whose detoxification systems naturally slow with age, mercury becomes far more dangerous. Scientific studies have linked mercury exposure from tuna to memory loss, confusion, numbness in the hands or feet, tremors, and mood swings. These are symptoms often dismissed as normal aging or even early dementia, but in reality they can be traced back to what is on the dinner plate. The risks to the heart are equally troubling. Mercury adds stress to the cardiovascular system and can interfere with the heart's electrical signals. This raises the chance of irregular rhythms or even a heart attack. One study published in JAMA Neurology revealed that seniors with elevated mercury levels due to tuna consumption faced a 65% greater risk of cognitive decline. That is a statistic that cannot be ignored. Here is the most alarming truth. 99% of seniors are unaware that just 2 servings of albacore or big eye tuna a week can push mercury exposure past what experts consider safe. That means millions of older adults who believe they are making a healthy choice are, without realizing it, putting their long-term health at risk. Even canned tuna, which many assume is harmless, is not completely safe. Light tuna, often skipjack, does contain lower levels of mercury than albacore, but it still carries enough to require strict moderation, especially after 60. The bigger concern is habit. Because canned tuna is affordable, convenient, and easy to prepare, it often becomes a daily staple. And with repeated exposure, mercury does not leave the body quickly. It accumulates slowly and silently until the damage shows itself years later. Does this mean tuna must be eliminated forever? Not necessarily. The key is awareness and moderation. If you truly enjoy tuna, limit yourself to canned light tuna only in small amounts, no more than once or twice a month. The safer path, however, is to explore alternatives. There are plenty of other fish that are rich in protein and omega-3 fatty acids without loading your body with heavy metals. Choosing these alternatives not only satisfies your appetite, but also protects your brain, your heart, and your independence as you age. This shift in perspective is not about giving up a favorite food forever. It is about making informed choices. When you recognize the hidden dangers and adjust your habits, you transform each meal from a potential risk into a step towards strength, clarity, and longevity. For seniors who want to protect their memory, mood, and heart, tuna simply does not justify the risk. The danger is invisible and the damage builds up slowly over time. By the time symptoms finally show up, it may already be too late to reverse the harm. That is exactly why tuna earns its place on the list of the 4 worst fish seniors should avoid completely. Now we turn to worst fish number 2, king mackerel. Mackerel is one of the most confusing fish on the market because it comes in 2 very different varieties. There is the safe kind like Atlantic or Spanish mackerel, and then there is the dangerous kind, king mackerel. The problem is that many people, especially seniors, do not realize the difference. That simple mistake can silently put the brain, the heart, and overall health in jeopardy. King mackerel is a large, long-lived predatory fish. The longer a fish lives and the higher it sits on the food chain, the more toxins it absorbs throughout its life. For king mackerel, the primary concern is mercury, and not just trace amounts. This species is notorious for having some of the highest mercury levels of any fish that people commonly eat. Why does this matter so much for those over 60? Mercury is a heavy metal that attacks the brain and nervous system. Seniors already have more vulnerable nerve cells due to natural aging, and mercury exposure can accelerate decline. Eating king mackerel even just a few times a month can be enough to push mercury levels beyond what is considered safe. The results can be devastating. Memory loss, tremors, difficulty concentrating, mood swings, and even depression. These are symptoms that often get brushed off as normal signs of aging, but in reality, they may be directly tied to what is on the dinner plate. The cardiovascular system suffers as well. Mercury damages the lining of blood vessels, increases oxidative stress, and disrupts the heart's electrical signals. For someone already managing high blood pressure, irregular heart rhythms, or heart disease, adding mercury to the mix is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Studies have directly linked regular consumption of king mackerel to a higher risk of both heart attack and stroke. To make matters worse, king mackerel often shows up in grocery stores or on restaurant menus under the generic label mackerel. Unless you specifically ask, you may have no idea which variety you are being served. That means many seniors who think they are making a healthy choice by ordering grilled mackerel could unknowingly be harming themselves. This warning is not just opinion. Both the Food and Drug Administration and the Environmental Protection Agency have placed king mackerel on the official do not eat list, especially for seniors, pregnant women, and children. The danger is even greater for older adults with kidney or liver issues, conditions that are far more common after 60. These organs are responsible for filtering toxins, but when they are weakened, the body struggles to eliminate mercury efficiently. That means the buildup happens faster and the damage runs deeper. It is important to draw a clear distinction here. Not all mackerel is bad. Atlantic mackerel and Spanish mackerel are smaller, shorter-lived species that contain much lower mercury levels. They can actually be a safe and nutritious option. But king mackerel is a very different story. The bottom line is simple. While certain types of mackerel can boost health, king mackerel is one of the worst choices you can make if you are over 60. Its mercury content is high enough to silently erode brain function, destabilize the heart, and trigger neurological symptoms that mimic aging. For seniors striving to protect both body and mind, this is one fish that is best left entirely off the plate. If you love the flavor of mackerel, there is no need to worry. There are safer alternatives like Atlantic or Spanish mackerel that can be enjoyed without fear. But when it comes to king mackerel, the best choice is simple: never touch it. Now let's talk about the #1 worst fish for seniors farm tilapia. This one may come as a shock because tilapia is one of the most popular fish in America. It is cheap, easy to find, and often promoted as a healthy, lean protein. But here is the harsh truth. Farm tilapia is one of the worst fish older adults can eat. And when you see how this fish is actually raised, you will understand why many experts consider it more harmful than red meat or even bacon. The first problem lies in how tilapia are farmed. In many facilities, the fish are packed so tightly into cages or ponds that they end up swimming in their own waste. These crowded, filthy conditions are breeding grounds for bacteria, parasites, and disease. To keep the fish alive, farmers rely heavily on antibiotics, pesticides, and antifungal chemicals. These substances do not vanish. They accumulate inside the fish, and when you eat it, they make their way into your body. For seniors whose immune systems may already be weaker and whose bodies process toxins more slowly, this creates an especially dangerous burden. Even more troubling is what tilapia are fed. To keep costs down, many farms use cheap fillers like corn soy and, in some shocking cases, chicken waste. Yes, chicken feces has been used as a protein source in fish feed. This unnatural diet completely alters the flesh of the fish, creating one of the most imbalanced omega fatty acid ratios found in any food. Ideally, the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in the human diet should be close to 1:1 or at most 2:1. Farmed tilapia can reach a staggering 11:1 ratio. Why is that so dangerous? Too much omega-6 without enough omega-3 to balance it acts like gasoline on the fire of inflammation inside the body. For seniors already battling arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, or even Alzheimer's, this is the last thing you want. In fact, studies have shown that eating tilapia can raise inflammatory markers in the body more than eating bacon or hamburgers. Imagine sitting down with tilapia believing you are making a healthy choice, only to find out that it is fueling inflammation even worse than fast food. But that is not all. Tests have revealed that farmed tilapia can also contain dioxins, highly toxic industrial pollutants that build up in fat tissue and remain in the body for years. Dioxins have been linked to cancer, immune system suppression, and hormone disruption. For seniors who are already more vulnerable to toxin buildup, this is a very serious concern. Unlike wild fish, which develop firm, nutrient-dense flesh from natural diets and clean environments, farmed tilapia offer little nutritional value. They are lower in omega-3s, selenium, and vitamin B12. What you are left with is a fish that looks healthy on the surface, but in reality is nutritionally poor and chemically loaded. It fills your stomach but robs you of the healing protective benefits that fish should provide. This is why researchers have labeled farmed tilapia as the junk food of the seafood world. It may appear lean and harmless, but behind the scenes it delivers a hidden mix of inflammation toxins and empty calories. For seniors, the consequences can be severe. Chronic inflammation worsens arthritis pain. Imbalanced fats increase the risk of heart attack and stroke. And toxin accumulation weakens the immune system, leaving the body less able to defend itself. Farmed tilapia may be inexpensive, but the true cost is paid in long-term health. Choosing better, cleaner fish is not just a matter of nutrition. It is a choice that can mean the difference between fueling disease or fueling longevity. Farmed tilapia does more than just disappoint nutritionally. It creates greater vulnerability to infections because of lingering antibiotic residues and long-term cancer risks from the accumulation of dioxins. The saddest part is that most people choose tilapia believing it is a safe, budget-friendly option. But when you realize there are affordable wild-caught alternatives like sardines, cod, or trout that deliver far superior nutrition, there is truly no reason to gamble with your health by eating farmed tilapia. The bottom line is simple. If you are over 60 and want to protect your brain, your heart, and your joints, avoid farmed tilapia altogether. It is not just neutral, it is actively harmful. Choosing safer, cleaner, and more nutrient-rich fish can mean the difference between fueling inflammation and fueling longevity. From dangerous waters, we now move to healing choices. The truth is clear: not all fish are created equal. Some, like farmed tilapia or imported catfish, may look harmless on the surface, but beneath that surface they hide toxins, unhealthy fats, and contaminants that slowly chip away at your health. For seniors already facing inflammation, fragile joints, or memory concerns, eating these wrong fish could tip the scale between recovery and decline. But here's the good news. Not all fish are villains. The right kinds of fish are among the most powerful healing foods you can add to your diet after 60. They are rich in omega-3s that soothe inflammation, minerals that strengthen bones, antioxidants that shield the brain, and high-quality protein that preserves muscle strength and stability. The best part is that these fish are clean, safe, and often surprisingly affordable. You do not need to overspend to nourish your body with what it truly needs. When you make the right choices, you are not just feeding yourself for today's meal. You are investing in sharper vision, steadier balance, stronger memory, and a heart that continues to beat strong for many years to come. That is why it is time to leave the danger list behind and step into the list of healing fish. Part 2 begins now. The 4 best fish for seniors over 60. Best fish number 4, wild-caught Pacific cod. When most people think about healthy fish, their minds immediately go to salmon or tuna. But there is a quiet powerhouse in the background that deserves far more attention, and that is Pacific cod. This mild white fish may not have the fame of its pink-fleshed cousins, but when it comes to supporting senior health, it delivers benefits far beyond its humble reputation. Here is why Pacific cod matters so much after 60. Let us start with the numbers. A single serving delivers about 40 grams of complete high-quality protein while containing less than 2 grams of fat and only around 180 calories. That is close to a perfect nutrient profile for seniors who are fighting off sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that affects nearly half of people over 80. Without enough lean, easily absorbed protein, muscles shrink, balance weakens, and independence begins to slip away. Cod steps in as one of the most efficient protein sources available, feeding muscles without overloading the body with unhealthy fats. But Pacific cod's strength does not end with protein. This fish is also a powerhouse of selenium, a trace mineral that many seniors are deficient in. Just one portion of cod provides more than 100% of your daily selenium requirement. Selenium acts like a microscopic shield for your cells. It supports thyroid function, keeps metabolism steady, strengthens the immune system, and acts as a potent antioxidant fighting oxidative stress, the invisible rusting process that accelerates aging inside the body. And here is the real kicker. Seniors with higher selenium levels have been shown in NIH research to experience better cognitive function and lower rates of age-related disease. This means that when you choose cod, you are not only feeding your muscles, you are also protecting your brain. Beyond selenium, Pacific cod provides phosphorus, a mineral that works hand-in-hand with calcium to keep bones dense and resistant to fractures. It also delivers vitamin B12, an essential nutrient that becomes harder to absorb as we age. Without enough B12, many older adults face anemia, fatigue, and nerve problems. Cod supplies this nutrient in a natural, highly absorbable form, giving the nervous system the fuel it needs to keep memory sharp and mood steady. Purity is another major concern when it comes to seafood. Many fish species live long lives at the top of the food chain, accumulating mercury and other toxins along the way. Cod is different. Wild Pacific cod live relatively short lives in the cold, clean waters of Alaska, which means they absorb far fewer contaminants. On top of that, Alaska's cod fishery is known as one of the most sustainable and carefully managed in the world. That means you can enjoy cod regularly without worrying about mercury overload or environmental impact. If you have ever struggled with digestion after eating fattier fish like mackerel or certain types of salmon, cod can feel like a relief. Its firm, flaky texture is light, easy on the stomach, and well tolerated even for those with sensitive digestion. Of course, how you prepare it makes a difference. To get the full benefits, avoid frying or grilling cod at very high temperatures, which can damage its delicate proteins and reduce the potency of its selenium. A healthier approach is to bake or steam cod gently at medium heat. Add a drizzle of olive oil or a few slices of avocado, then finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. This not only enhances flavor, but also helps the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins more efficiently. The bottom line is that wild-caught Pacific cod may not look glamorous, but it is one of the most efficient, clean, and senior-friendly proteins you can put on your plate. It strengthens muscles, protects the brain, supports thyroid function, and guards against oxidative damage, all in a low-calorie, low-toxin package. For seniors who are serious about staying strong, sharp, and independent, cod is a quiet hero that deserves a regular place at the dinner table. Now let's move on to best fish number 3, sardines. At first glance, sardines do not look impressive. They are tiny, packed into small cans, and often ignored next to flashier options like salmon or tuna. But here is the surprising truth. Sardines are one of the most powerful superfoods seniors can eat. Their size is deceiving because these little fish carry enormous health benefits, especially after age 60. The biggest claim to fame for sardines is their omega-3 fatty acids. Sardines are one of the richest natural sources of omega-3s, delivering more per serving than nearly any other fish. Why does this matter so much for older adults? As the body ages, it naturally produces more inflammatory compounds. Inflammation is the hidden culprit behind joint pain, arthritis, heart disease, clogged arteries, and even cognitive decline. Sardines step in as a natural firefighter, cooling down the flames of inflammation that silently damage health over time. The omega-3s in sardines, especially EPA and DHA, act like natural firefighters inside the body. They calm down chronic inflammation, improve circulation, and protect the arteries. This is not just theory. Studies consistently show that seniors who eat fatty fish like sardines at least twice a week have lower rates of heart disease, improved mobility, and even more stable moods. But that is only the beginning. Sardines are also one of the rare natural food sources of vitamin D, a nutrient that becomes harder to get after 60. As we age, the skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D, and many older adults unknowingly become deficient. That deficiency leads to weaker bones, greater risk of falls, slower recovery from injuries, and even depression. Just one can of sardines provides about 40% of the daily vitamin D requirement. Combine that with the calcium and phosphorus found in their soft, edible bones, and you have the perfect trio for bone strength. Every bite of sardines delivers not just calcium, but calcium in its most bioavailable form, paired with the nutrients that help it stay in your bones. For seniors concerned about fractures, hip breaks, or osteoporosis, sardines act like a nutritional insurance policy. Another overlooked fact is that sardines sit at the very bottom of the food chain. They feed on plankton rather than other fish, which means they accumulate virtually no mercury or heavy metals. Unlike larger predatory fish such as tuna or king mackerel, sardines remain one of the cleanest and safest fish for seniors to eat regularly without the worry of toxic buildup. Beyond omega-3's vitamin D and calcium, sardines are also rich in vitamin B12, a nutrient that becomes harder to absorb with age. Low B12 levels can cause fatigue, memory problems, and nerve issues. Sardines provide B12 in abundance, keeping the nervous system sharp and preventing that foggy-headed feeling so many older adults describe. And let us not forget protein. Sardines offer complete, easily digestible protein that helps maintain muscle mass. This is a critical factor in preventing falls, preserving independence, and keeping metabolism active. Researchers have even found that seniors who eat sardines regularly tend to enjoy stronger bones, better cardiovascular health, and clearer mental focus compared to those who do not. That is a remarkable return for such a small, humble fish. Preparation is simple as well. Canned sardines can be eaten straight from the tin, tossed into salads, mashed with avocado on whole grain toast, or stirred into pasta with olive oil and herbs. Affordable, shelf-stable, and versatile sardines are one of the easiest ways to add consistent omega-3s and bone-strengthening nutrients to your diet. Now we move to best fish number 2, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. If there is one fish that nutritionists around the world consistently rank as medicinal food, it is salmon from the pristine waters of Alaska. For seniors, this fish is not just healthy, it is transformative. Every serving delivers a powerful combination of nutrients that support the heart, the brain, the muscles, and the immune system in ways that few other foods can. What makes salmon stand out is its omega-3 content. And not just any omega-3s, but the two most valuable types, EPA and DHA. These fatty acids are essential for brain health. Research from the University of Pittsburgh found that seniors with higher DHA levels in their blood had larger brain volumes and stronger memory performance compared to those with low levels. This means salmon does more than slow decline. It actively helps the brain remain sharp and resilient well into the later decades of life. That means salmon does not just slow brain decline, it actively helps the brain stay sharp and resilient well into the 70s and 80s. And the benefits do not stop with the brain. The omega-3s in wild salmon are also powerful anti-inflammatories. They reduce chronic inflammation, the kind that fuels arthritis, stiff joints, clogged arteries, and even poor circulation in the legs. Clinical studies have shown that eating wild salmon at least twice a week can significantly lower C-reactive protein levels, a key marker of inflammation closely tied to heart disease and joint pain. For seniors struggling with daily aches, this shift can make a noticeable difference in quality of life. Protein is another critical factor. As the body ages, it becomes less efficient at using protein. This is why many older adults lose muscle mass, a condition known as sarcopenia, even when they feel they are eating enough. The solution is high-quality bioavailable protein, the kind that the body can easily break down and use. Wild-caught salmon delivers about 40 grams of premium protein per serving, giving muscles the raw materials they need to stay strong, support balance, and prevent dangerous falls. Here is a little-known secret. The pink-orange color of wild salmon is not just beautiful to look at. It comes from a rare antioxidant called astaxanthin. This compound is like armor for the body's cells, shielding them from oxidative stress, the rust-like process that wears down the body as it ages. Studies show that astaxanthin does more than reduce inflammation. It also supports skin elasticity, protects eye health, and even boosts endurance. Wild salmon also excels when it comes to essential micronutrients that seniors often lack. It is rich in selenium, which works alongside vitamin E to protect the heart and lower cancer risk. It contains vitamin B12 and B6 to support nerve function and energy metabolism, and it provides vitamin D to strengthen bones and boost immunity. What makes wild-caught Alaskan salmon stand out even more is its purity. These salmon swim freely in cold, clean waters and eat a natural diet, which keeps them naturally low in contaminants like mercury and PCBs toxins that are often found in farm salmon. Cooking salmon the right way makes all the difference. To retain its full nutrient profile, bake, steam, or grill it gently at medium heat. Pair it with fresh vegetables and a drizzle of olive oil, and you have a meal that not only tastes incredible but also fuels longevity, strength, and brain power. Now we arrive at best fish number 1, rainbow trout. When people think of the healthiest fish, salmon usually takes all the attention. But if you are over 60, there is another fish that deserves the crown: rainbow trout. What makes it so special is that it combines the nutritional strengths of salmon, cod, and sardines while also being one of the cleanest and safest fish you can eat. The first standout feature of rainbow trout is safety. Unlike many farmed fish raised in crowded conditions with antibiotics and unnatural feeds, rainbow trout in the United States are produced under strict regulations. They are grown in clean freshwater systems with carefully managed conditions. This means there is no need to worry about mercury pollutants or hidden chemicals. Trout consistently ranks as one of the most reliable and low-risk choices for seniors concerned about toxin buildup in their bodies. But the real magic of rainbow trout lies in its omega-3 content. Each serving delivers around 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, right in the optimal range for heart protection. These healthy fats keep arteries flexible, lower chronic inflammation, and support both cardiovascular and brain health, making rainbow trout a true longevity food. A single serving of rainbow trout delivers around 1,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, right in the sweet spot for heart protection. These omega-3s do more than keep arteries flexible. They fight chronic inflammation, which is at the root of many age-related conditions, such as arthritis, stiff joints, and even cognitive decline. But trout's benefits do not stop there. It is also loaded with minerals that seniors urgently need. Potassium is one of the most important. Nearly 70% of seniors over 60 struggle with high blood pressure. Potassium helps balance out excess sodium, naturally regulating blood pressure and lowering the risk of stroke. Then there is phosphorus, which works alongside calcium to keep bones strong and fracture-resistant. Trout also provides iron to boost red blood cell production and combat fatigue, as well as zinc, which is essential for immune health, wound healing, and even maintaining taste and smell as we age. Rainbow trout also brings an impressive B vitamin profile. It is particularly rich in niacin, or vitamin B3, which supports healthy cholesterol by raising HDL, the good cholesterol, and lowering LDL, the bad. Seniors who get enough niacin are at a lower risk of heart disease, making this a major win for cardiovascular health. Add in a healthy dose of vitamin B12, which keeps nerves firing properly and helps prevent the fatigue and brain fog many people experience after 60, and you have a nutritional powerhouse. Another hidden gem in trout is its vitamin E content. This antioxidant protects cell membranes from damage and supports immune defense. When combined with omega-3s and selenium, vitamin E forms a triple shield against oxidative stress and age-related decline. One of the most practical advantages of rainbow trout is how easy it is to eat. Its mild flavor and tender, flaky texture make it gentle on the stomach, especially for seniors who sometimes find fish too oily, too strong, or too tough to digest. It is both nourishing and easy to enjoy. Trout is also versatile. You can bake it, pan-sear it, or grill it with herbs and lemon. It adapts beautifully to different cooking methods without losing its nutritional value. That means you are less likely to grow tired of it and fall back into unhealthy eating habits. The bottom line is clear. Rainbow trout is the ultimate senior-friendly fish. It is clean, safe, nutrient-rich, and delicious. It supports the heart, brain, bones, and immune system all at once. If there is one fish you could eat regularly to age stronger and healthier, rainbow trout deserves that #1 spot. So here it is, the full truth about fish after 60. Some can silently damage the heart, the brain, and the joints, filling the body with toxins and inflammation. Others can nourish every cell, protect memory, and restore energy and strength. The choice is simple but powerful. Keep eating the wrong fish and the risks quietly add up over time, leading to stroke, memory loss, joint pain, and even accelerated aging. But choose the right ones like wild salmon, sardines, cod, or rainbow trout, and you are literally feeding your body medicine each week. What you put on your plate today becomes the quality of your life tomorrow. It determines whether you will be strong enough to carry groceries, sharp enough to enjoy conversations, and confident enough to live independently well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. And remember, you do not have to change everything overnight. Start small. Swap out one dangerous fish for one healing fish. Add just 1 or 2 servings of the right kind of seafood each week. Over time, those small steps grow into a future where you feel stronger, clearer, and more alive. At Healthy Hues Wellness, we believe aging should never mean decline. With the right choices, your best years can still be ahead of you. Here's to making smart, science-backed choices, and here's to living stronger longer.